Hello everyone and welcome back to my official The GH24 News YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we begin, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Twist could be brewing if Jack Brennan wants to deliver a final test for Josslyn Jax. Brennan has been watching Josslyn nearly and likes what he sees when it comes to her eventuality as a WSB agent. As far as Brennan's concerned, Josslyn possesses a lot of the traits necessary to thrive at the office and negotiate big effects. Still, Josslyn is easily rattled now that she's wiped Cyrus off the chart. Brennan delivered some veritably specific instructions that Josslyn has been following, but effects are about to get tougher. It'll be hard enough when Trina Robinson starts grilling Josslyn about what really happened last night. Of course, Carly Spencer may put Josslyn through an indeed more delicate interrogation about her missing phone and weird mood. Despite Josslyn's attempts to explain and play down everything, she's going to raise reservations with her unsettling jest. Brennan advised that not indeed Carly could know the verity, but it wouldn't be easy for Joss to lie to her mama. That said, the real problem could come laterally, depending on what Brennan has set in stir. Brennan called for a total remittal of the cabin with one exception, so we've to consider what that exception might be. Although Brennan got relief of Cyrus' body and removed any trace that Josslyn was there, he may want to give the PCPD someone differently to concentrate on. It'd be better to steer attention down from Josslyn and put it on the most logical suspect rather. Could Brennan make sure some substantiation is set up that points in Jason's direction? The forensics platoon might uncover commodity that spells trouble, since Jason will be backed into a corner according to GH spoilers. Anna Devane has formerly been bothered about the possibility of Jason going after fatal vengeance. Jason has plenitude of experience with this kind of thing as a hitman, so Anna may worry he's responsible for killing Cyrus and covering his tracks. Indeed, if there isn't enough evidence to condemn Jason, Brennan might put some heat on him. It'd make it less likely that Josslyn would ever be suspected and maybe offer one final test. Brennan may want to find out if Josslyn can handle it. Formerly Jason's under fire. It could be Brennan's way of seeing if Josslyn will crack under pressure since he knows how important she cares about Jason. Jason indeed has some trouble ahead of him, so stick with us for further prognostications on any legal drama and updates on the bad news ahead. As Cyrus Renault's conduct and motive behind Dex's murder was lately revealed, could a plot pop up where one or further of Heller's family members enter the land of Port Charles? Also again, there was also enterprise that Dex had family in the little city. Could this be revealed at some point? From the moment Dex first appeared on screen in numerous Suckers Aloud, he'd family roots in Port Charles. After all, the character was shrouded in riddle, and the only thing suckers knew about the character was that he was a former army warhorse. This launched some major enterprise that Dex's long misplaced pater could be in the little city. At the time, Dex was working for Sonny Corinthos, and also suckers realized he'd been hired by Michael Corinthos to become operative in the Mob Masters Association. Once Josslyn Jax developed a relationship with Dex and he began to talk about his tumultuous nonage, suckers began to zero in on the idea that Heller's real pater lived in PC. While the father he grew up with was vituperative, this could have meant that Dex's mama prevaricated about her son's maternity and his natural father was nearly out there. When Dex first arrived on the PC scene, Jason Morgan was allowed to potentially be Heller's unknown father. Indeed, though Stone Cold was dead at the time. After all, Jason and Dex did look veritably analogous, which also led to the enterprise that either Drew Quartermain or AJ Quartermain may be the newbie Bobby's father. There's also been propositions that Sonny was his real pater. And the late John Jagger Dainties. Alas, nothing further ever came out of it, and now that Heller has passed on, it remains unclear if the GH Pens would ever pick this plot up and run with it. Harrison Chase gathers his studies after chancing out that Brooklyn Quartermain had been pregnant ahead and also listens as she explains that it was while she was a teen and the father no way knew. She tells him only Lois Cerullo knows the verity. She explains how spooked she was at the time and Chase's aunt surprised that Lois was in her corner. BLQ explains that relinquishment was the stylish decision but she knew she couldn't tell the family. She went on stint with Lois for 5 months and came back and continued her life. Chase understands how the whole situation was so hard for her, and she's shocked that he is frenetic at her. She apologizes for lying, and he says it is a taradiddle. It's part of her history, and she gets to choose who she shares it with. Chase asks BLQ if she's okay, because this was a lot to go through at such a youthful age. He tells her that she's much stronger than indeed he realized. They also bandy the possibility of chancing her child. Chase tells her that it's up to her, and he'll support whatever she decides. Drew Quartermain can't believe that Jason Morgan is standing in his house, calling for armistice. He wonders why Jason wants to recognize Sam's wishes now, after beating him up right before her burial. He starts to go in on Jason, wishing that he was the one brought back to Port Charles when they were youngish so that he could have grown up with Monica. Rather, he's the family who got the group home and was left to fend for himself at 18. He wishes that he'd what Jason has always taken for granted. Drew is furious that the murderous hitman always has a place in the Quartermain family, but he falls in love with the wrong woman and everyone hates him. Drew is ready to walk down from the family and take Scout with him. He also tells Jason to get out of his house. Tracy Quartermain wants to talk to Sasha Corbin over a mug of tea. Sasha volunteers that she thinks a PI named Elaine is poking around looking for dirt on Michael Corinthos. Tracy asks her what information she gave up, and Sasha says that she told Elaine her exact due date and assumed the woman was hired by Willow Corinthos' divorce attorney. Sasha realizes that Tracy is holding back from saying commodity and asks what it is. Tracy wants to know if Sasha and Jason are getting married, if he's the father of her baby. Tracy declares that Sasha got pregnant by a Quartermain, not an arbitrary man at the bar. She hassles Sasha until Sasha grottos and tells her that Jason is the father, as he walks into the kitchen and overhears. Jason snappily changes the subject and tells Tracy that Drew is getting a problem. Tracy agrees and tells Jason that she's really glad that he's staying at the house. Lucky Spencer is stabilized and in guarded condition. Elizabeth Baldwin and Aidan Weber are the first to go by and see him. Portia Robinson tells Liz that Lucky is holding his own. She and Aidan talk to Lucky, who's unconscious, and tell him to hang on. Liz also thanks him for saving her life. Aidan tells Lucky how glad he's to have had him home for the last many months. Lucky starts to decode as Liz pulls Aidan out of the room. Out in the GH waiting room, Laura Collins tells Lulu Spencer about Cyrus Renault admitting to wanting to free Lulu from her pain. She tells her that he caused her liver failure. They talk for a bit and Lulu runs through the chain of events and chooses to believe that if Cyrus hadn't caused her liver failure, she may still be in a coma. Cyrus Otto was spotted on camera, and Anna Devane and Dante Falconeri are trying to figure out where he's headed. Anna tells Dante that Cyrus confessed to Elizabeth about killing Sam, Dex, and others. Jordan Ashford has run a hunt on anyone connected to Cyrus, and she comes up with Dr. Austin Gatlin Holt, who was shot dead in, and his murder has no way been answered. Anna orders a list of all parcels possessed or rented by Holt, because Cyrus may be hiding in one. She gets what she believes is the likely address, and she and Dante go and check it out with plenitude of backup. They arrive and Dante kicks in the door. They walk around and the cabin is nearly too clean either to have been inhabited, or left empty. Anna says that if Cyrus has been there they will find commodity. Jack Brennan walks by and sees Cyrus dead on the bottom. He tells Josslyn Jax to give him the gun and says either they can communicate police, or clean it up themselves. He heard what was passing between Joss and Cyrus from outside the cabin, but he was in the room so his evidence would hold up in court. He tells Joss that he can take care of the situation, but she can no way say a word and she has to act like she no way visited the cabin. She says she can do it and they leave. Jack takes her reverse to the WSB office and tells her to go into the restroom and shower and to leave anything that she brought into the cabin in the restroom. He tells her there's a change of clothes for her in there. She goes by and starts to flash back to Cyrus' words from earlier in the evening and gets sick. Jack takes the gun from his fund and throws it on his office. Colette walks by and he tells her that he didn't know Joss had a gun and now Cyrus is dead. He's also told that covering up the death will be tricky because Cyrus attacked Liz and Lucky, and now there's an APB out for him. They know it's a matter of time before Anna finds the cabin, so it has to be gutted first. Joss joins Jack in his office, and he tells her that she set the whole evening in stir. He helped her piece together Dex's murder because he wanted to see what she'd do with the information. Joss freaks out and asks if he's playing a game with her, and Jack says that she has all the rates of a great WSB member. Also Jack tells her point blank that he wants her to be one of them. Joss is freaked out by everything that has occurred, and so Jack tells her that she needs a cover story. He says that her auto is clean and outside, and he hands her plutocrat to buy a new phone. He also tells her that he'll be in touch.